I am determined to actually get a fair chunk of reading done this week. Hey everyone, my name is Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is the start of another weekly reading vlog. It is Monday evening and we are a week into February now and I've only read one book. Granted, that was a big 750 page book, but I have got a lot of books on my TBR this month. If you've seen either of the videos I put out about my plans for this month's reading, you'll know that I'm finishing a lot of a series, or at least that is the plan. And there are a fair few books on my TBR and quite a few of them are chunky, and I've only read one. It took me an entire week to read Empire of Gold. Now Empire of Gold probably was the one that I was the most intimidated by on my TBR, so I am glad that that is kind of out of the way. I also really enjoyed it, which is fantastic. And I have already started reading 2 books this week, but when I say I've started reading them, I'm like 25 pages into both of them. It's a bit ridiculous, but I have started reading Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. I am prepared for the pain. I think I am listening to the audiobook of this one. I'm on chapter 2 so far, so I've not made much of a dent yet, but I'm hoping that I get a fair amount of this one done sort of on the way to work and things like that over the next few days. And then I've started a physical read as well, and that one is Evermore by Sarah Holland. This is the second part in a duology, so there is Everless and this one is Evermore. Again, I'm only about 20 pages into this. To be honest, this is one where if I'm not feeling it, I probably will end up DNFing it, even though I do not DNF things, just because I don't really remember too much of what happened in the first one. Although I have realised since picking it up that I remember more, like as soon as I started it, and they gave a bit of a recap on like the end of the first one, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that happening. So it is falling into place and I'm hoping that I can read that one fairly quickly. I'm actually hoping that Fool's Errand I should be able to have done by like Thursday at the latest, and then Evermore possibly the same sort of time as well, because then on Friday, Saturday and Sunday I have the house to myself and I am planning on reading 4 books over that weekend. So I'm going to be rereading Illuminae, carrying on with the series and reading Gemina and Obsidio, and I'm also going to be listening to the audiobook of Aurora's End. So that should get me a fair chunk of the way through my February TBR, and then the other 2 weeks will be all the other bits and pieces that I need to read. But we will see how it goes. That is pretty much all I have to catch you up on now, because I've not done much other than go to work today. So now I'm actually going to go and read these, because I want to read a lot this week and it's not going to get done unless I actually pick up a book. Okay, just really quick update. I'm reading Fool's Errand and I just got to the first Fitz and the Fool scene in this book and my heart is just so full right now. I'm so happy that those 2 characters have been reunited. It's not too much of a spoiler. I mean, literally the last trilogy in the Realm of the Eldlings, it's called The Fitz and the Fool. So we know that they are both sort of in it throughout, but yeah, I'm just so happy that they're reunited. Really quick update today because I'm very tired and I have very little energy to vlog. It is Wednesday. I did not vlog yesterday, but I did read a fair amount. I am now about halfway through, if not possibly a bit further, in Fool's Errand. I'm planning on reading a fair amount more of it this evening. I'm really enjoying this book. I'm loving being back with Fitz. I'm also really loving Fitz and the Fool. I feel like I like their sort of friendship, and I mean, it's definitely hinted at more, but I don't think it's actually going to go in that direction. But I liked their relationship in the first trilogy, and this is only sort of building on that. It's kind of pretty much all Fitz and the Fool at the minute, which is amazing because they are my 2 favourite characters. So I'm very much enjoying this. I'm excited to see where it goes. I still haven't been broken by it yet. I know it will happen. What I thought was going to be what's going to break me is pretty much certain that it is going to be what's going to break me. I've like I said, I think I mentioned earlier that I've been told that even if you know where this book is going, it's still horrible when you get to that point, and there is more and more hints that are telling you sort of where this book is going with one particular character, and yeah, it's going to be awful. I know it is. It just is, but I'm still here for it. I was hoping to finish it tonight, but I don't think I'll have quite enough time, but I might be able to finish it before work tomorrow because I'm on a little late. And if not, I'll probably end up finishing it at work because I listen to audiobooks while I'm on my hair and I don't want to be crying while I'm working, to be honest. So we will see. But yeah, I was supposed to be picking up Evermore again, but I haven't. I've just been listening to Fool's Errand and reading Fool's Errand physically as well, because that is where I'm at. So I will eventually get around to Evermore. I don't know if I mentioned it yet though, but I am planning on reading a lot this weekend. I've got 4 books that I hope to get through between Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So although I've only read like 1, nearly 2 books so far in February, and I've got about 15 books to read, I'm still doing pretty well for it, because by the end of this week I should be 5, maybe 6 books into my TBR. So right, I'm gonna go and get back to Fool's Errand and prepare for some tears. This book just got a little bit painful. So this book was horrible. I loved it, but it was horrible. Hi everyone, it's Friday. I finished reading Fool's Errand yesterday. I did film a little bit of a clip after I read the particularly painful chapter. And yeah, this book was horrible, but in the best way possible. I actually really, really loved this book. It's one of my favourite ones that I've read in the realm of the Elderling so far. I've said before that I prefer Fitz. I don't know why, I just do like his stories. I really like him as a character. I really liked where he went in this book, because it is set 15 years after the first one, and a lot happened to Fitz in the first one, a lot of not great things, to be honest, and I like sort of how that has shaped what his character's like in this and how he kind of reacts to things. And yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it. And yes, there was a particularly sort of horrible event that happened in it, but you knew it was going to come all the way through. It was very much foreshadowed from the very beginning, but that still didn't stop it from hurting. And the way that it was done in particular was just like beautiful, but awful at the same time. And yeah, 5 stars, obviously. Right. I'm now going to introduce you to my TBR for this weekend. As I said, it is Friday. It's Friday evening. I have just got home from work. My parents are away for the weekend. I am dog sitting. That is, any noise that you can hear is Harry snoring as per usual. And I have plans this weekend. So this is my TBR. I am going to be reading the entirety of the Illuminae files, and I'm also going to be listening to and reading Aurora's End. So obviously this month I am finishing series, and Illuminae is actually a series I started many years ago. I only ever read the first one, and I didn't at the time plan on actually finishing the series, but I've discovered a love of J. Kristoff's writing in more recent years, so I've decided that I do want to carry on with it. Got the entire series now, and basically think that it might work best for me if I just kind of power through it and read it all in one go. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Aurora's End is one that I've had since November when it came out, and just haven't got around to reading because I wanted to listen to the audiobook, because that's what I did for the first 2, and really, really loved the audiobook and reading along experience. And the audiobook didn't come out in the UK till the very end of January, so the timing's perfect for me finishing series this month. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I think tonight I'm going to start reading Illuminae, and then if I get a bit disinterested in it, I will pick up Aurora's End, and then I'll probably listen to Aurora's End tomorrow morning when I'm doing things like taking the dog for a walk and all that type of stuff, and then go back to reading Illuminae if I've not finished it, Gemina if I have. And yeah, I'm on some sprints on Sunday, so I'll be able to power through a lot of the books then. But either way, I plan on having all 4 of these books finished this weekend, and possibly the novella as well, Memento, that I believe I can read after I finish the Illuminae files. Anyway, that is my update. I loved Fool's Errand. I hated Fool's Errand, but I loved it. And I'm going to be reading a lot of sci-fi by Amy Kaufman and J. Kristoff. Look how handsome he is. Oh, he wants the belly rubs. I am 150 pages into Illuminae, and I'm just now remembering that this book deals with a virus, and there is a whole section about this virus spreading across one particular ship, and there's like this poster that is advertised at kids, and it says help Astro Marine Tim win the fight against space bugs by following these simple rules. Always wear your face mask. Always wash your hands. Always seal doors and bulkheads behind you. If you see someone with the shakes, tell a crew member immediately. I mean, if that doesn't sound familiar to the last 2 years, I don't know what does. There is also then a sort of log about the virus being airborne and it being particularly worrying that people can be reinfected because it suggests the virus is mutagenic in nature. Which again, that doesn't sound familiar. I completely forgot that this was a storyline in Illuminae. So it's a fun reading. Okay, I thought I'd do one last update for the evening. Good thing about my parents not being home this week is that I'll have more updates because it's easier for me to just grab my camera whenever I want to say something. I've got to page 200 in Illuminae now, and I was planning on trying to get to about 250 tonight because I felt like I'm actually getting into it now and I felt like I could just power through, but I've started getting really tired and I still need to do a little bit of tidying before I go to sleep. So what I'm going to do is put this down for now, and then I'm going to pick up the audiobook of Aurora's End instead. I'm going to listen to the first couple of chapters of that while I'm sort of getting ready to go to bed. And yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this so far. I didn't realise until I went to add this to my Goodreads. The last time I read it, I only gave it 2 stars. I knew I didn't love it, but I thought I'd given it a 3 at least. But apparently I gave it 2. And my thoughts that I remember from it were just being quite bored with it. But I'm just over a third of the way through and I'm actually really enjoying it at the minute. So unless I suddenly get bored halfway through, which I don't think I will, then I think it's going to be a higher rating than last time, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted. I have said before that it might have just been a wrong book, wrong time when I read this one last time. So it seems very much like it might be that way. I do love my dog, but he does make it a little bit difficult to read. It is Saturday morning. I am having cuddles with Harry. I am going to be reading Illuminae. I did listen to about 50 pages worth of Aurora's End last night before I went to bed, and I am loving this book already. Like, Aurora Burning ended on a cliffhanger, and this has just jumped straight in, and there is something that is happening here that is one of my favourite sort of plot lines in any type of sci-fi thing. So I am very, very much enjoying it so far. We'll see how the rest of it goes. I do need to film something today because I have no video to go up this afternoon, which is normal for me. But I have actually just been going through sort of the calendar for the next few weeks. And if I film one this morning, get it uploaded, edited, things like that, I can film a couple more this afternoon after I've read a bit. And I should be pretty much set up until the middle of March then, once you add in sort of my TBR and wrap up and all that sort of content. So I'm doing okay. But yeah, I just really need to get back on my pre-filming game, which I will be doing this weekend. So right now, I'm going to try and pick up Illuminae without disturbing Harry. And then I will go upstairs and film in a couple of hours' time. Ooh, I have just filmed a hectic video. You should have already seen it because it was actually the video that went up on Saturday as I'm filming this. I filmed a scavenger hunt type thing on my shelves. I do enjoy these types of videos. They're some of my favourites to film, but also I hate the cleanup of them, but it was the quickest one to sort of film and get edited for today. Reading updates, so I'm up to about page 400 in Illuminae. I've also listened to a few more chapters of Aurora's End and basically still just really, really loving both of these books. I really don't understand my rating previously on Illuminae because I'm really enjoying it at the minute and it's heading towards a 5-star where I previously gave it 2. I clearly was just not in the mood to read that book at the time. See, the thing is that I don't read a massive amount of sci-fi. She says when she's reading all sci-fi this weekend, but I don't know why. I just find sci-fi sometimes a bit difficult to read. I think actually is because it can be quite dense because there's a lot of like technology and information thrown at you, and because it's a book format and you are having to read it, it feels like you're just reading files, and which is weird because that is kind of what Illuminae is. But Illuminae is done in that way where you know that going into it, and then it's got the humour and the chat logs and things interspersed with it, and it's a fun way of sort of keeping up with the story. And then Aurora's End I'm liking. The Aurora cycle in general I like because it's a younger version and also it has got the humour. I think the humour is very, very important for sci-fi for me to like it. Like one of the sci-fi books that I absolutely adore is The Martian because the humour is there. I love the book, I love the film, it's one of my favourites. So yeah, if it's got the humour right, I can keep up with it. The thing is that I actually love sci-fi when it is done well, because sci-fi films and TV programmes are some of my favourites. Like, I adore sci-fi to watch. I just struggle to find books that I like. And I think that is another one of the things I'm really liking about both of these books, is that I can relate both of these series to particular TV shows that I watch. So I've said before, the Aurora cycle reminds me of Firefly. It is this sort of ragtag bunch of people who are kind of thrown together, didn't actually want to work together, but they have to get on with this mission. And particularly the film Firefly Serenity that kind of wraps it all up. There's a lot of the reveals and things in there which matches up quite well with what's going on in the Aurora cycle as well. And the reveals that happen, I feel like Ori and River are two sort of very similar type of characters in the terms of that they sort of turn up and you don't really know what's happened to them in their past, and it's just about kind of figuring that out. And I'm really enjoying that because I love the Firefly series so much. And then Illuminae is very much reminding me of Battlestar Galactica, which is another one of my favourite TV programmes, the reboot version that came out in like the early 2000s. I adore that show. I've got the box set. I'm due a rewatch of it soon, to be honest, because I normally do like a rewatch every few years. And the way that that's kind of happened, where there's been this sort of big event at the beginning of it, and it is this, and then it is this fleet of spaceships that are trying to get away from it, and then stuff gets revealed where the spaceships that you're on aren't necessarily as safe as you think they are. The enemy might be closer than you think. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it this time. And I had watched Battlestar Galactica the first time that I read Illuminae, so I don't know why I didn't sort of make that connection and go, oh, I like this the first time, but apparently I didn't. Like I said, all I can think is that I just wasn't in the right headspace for it, but I am now. So I'm going to go back to reading it. Actually, I'm going to go and edit this video I've just filmed so that I can actually get it up for you guys this evening. But I will be finishing Illuminae today and hopefully making a decent chunk into Gemina tonight as well. I'm currently editing my video, but I just got some book mail and I thought I'd open it. I've ordered this myself, so I know what it is. It is one that I ordered the other day because I did not want to not have this on my shelves in case I wanted to pick it up immediately. And that is Golden Fool by Robin Hobb, second book in the Tawny Man trilogy. Like I said, I like to always have the next Robin Hobb book ready to read. And I finished Fool's Errand and I'm like, I really need to have this. I don't understand why I haven't bought it yet. So, Golden Fool. I'm going to try and wait until March to pick it up, but I'm not going to guarantee it. Can someone please explain to me how a book that I rated 2 stars when I read it in 2017 is now a 5-star on reread in 2022? It makes no sense to me, but you know, there we go. So this is a 5-star read. I will be moving immediately onto Gemina. I have no other thoughts. I just really enjoyed the reading experience and I am very excited to see where it goes. Whereas last time I had no inclination whatsoever to pick it up the following book, this time I want to know what happens. I'm invested. That's all I have to say. Hello. It is Sunday morning. I don't have many reading updates. I am like 100 pages into Gemina and I'm still just kind of getting into the story. But I just hit 500 subscribers, which it's strange. And yeah, thank you everyone for being here. I've tweeted about this a couple of times in the last few weeks, but with it sort of coming up to my 1 year on BookTube, I was kind of at like 460 a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it'd be nice if I could get to 500 before the 30th of March, which is my 1 year BookTube anniversary. And I just thought I'm just going to send a tweet out and just kind of promote myself. I don't do it very often. And some lovely people have helped with that. And over the last like couple of days, I've gone from and over the last couple of days, I've had a little bit of a jump in subscribers and I just hit 500. And yeah, I don't have much else to say about that. But thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to go back to reading my book. Hello, I have finished reading Gemini. I spent most of the day on sprints. I was with Becca and Liv, and then Lisa got pulled in because she was not reading in the comments and she needed to be held accountable. So I finished reading Gemini. It's another 5 stars. Apparently I just really misjudged the series when I first read it. I found it a little bit slower to get into, partly because I was like invested in the storyline from Illuminae and I was waiting for it to kind of link into that. But to be honest, by the end of it, I actually preferred the storyline in this to Illuminae. So I'm really excited for Obsidio because I think it's going to pull everything together and then I'm really going to enjoy it. And that's what I plan to read tonight. I don't have too many more updates on Aurora's End. I did listen to a bit more this morning. Don't think I'm actually going to get that done this weekend. My plan was to try and do all 4 books this weekend, but I just don't know if I'm going to have time to listen to all of Aurora's End, so we'll see. But yeah, that is pretty much all of my updates for now. I'll catch up with you guys on my thoughts on Obsidio in a little bit. I think I'm gonna admit defeat. It is 11:20. I'm only about 100 pages into Obsidio and I am too tired to read. I will finish this tomorrow and I'll be back with a wrap-up of my reading for the week. Hello, it is Monday afternoon. I thought I would just jump on here to wrap up my week. As you will have seen in the last clip, I did not complete the TBR that I'd set myself for the weekend. But I did make progress in pretty much everything that I wanted to read. I didn't get to Memento yet, but that's obviously because I haven't finished Obsidio yet. I am about 120 pages in now, and I'm about 300 and something pages into Aurora's End, so I'm still like well on the way with both of them. I should be able to finish one of them today, hopefully, although I am out for the evening, so we will see. But we'll see that in my next vlog, actually. Let's just quickly do a wrap-up of what I read this week. I just realised I've left one of the books on my TBR cart and I can't get to it now. But basically, I spent most of the week reading Fool's Errand. It did not make me cry as much as it makes some people cry. I was very, very upset. I just don't tend to cry at books. But it was very, very close. I really, really loved that book. I can't wait to carry on with Golden Fool. I now have Golden Fool to read, so that's great. And then this weekend, I've concentrated on reading books by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And this was my TBR, and I have finished 2 of these books, and I'm reading the other 2. So I'm doing all right. So far, Illuminae and Gemini, both 5 stars. Obsidio, we will see. Aurora's End, we will see. I am really enjoying Aurora's End. I don't think I've spoken too much about that because it's hard to, because spoilers, but it does jump in straight away and I really enjoyed that. And also there is a lot to do with kind of classic tropes from sci-fi that I particularly like in this, so I am having a good time. That is pretty much everything to tell you though. I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below, and I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.